morning, guys. Today's experiment we'll discuss, that is natural convection. So experiment number 6 in the manual, right? So natural convection, right? So the convection heat transfer happening in natural mode or the free convection mode, right? So the aim of the experiment is to determine the convection heat transfer coefficient H, right? In natural convection, right, when the heat transfer is happening over the surface of a rod, and this rod is kept in both vertical and horizontal position, right? I repeat, we have to calculate the value of H practically, right, keeping the rod in vertical position and also keeping the rod in horizontal position, right? Suppose we have the rod, right, and it is hot, right? The air is been passing over this rod, right? Due to heat transfer between the surface and the fluid, that is air, which is flowing over the surface, it takes heat. The fluid particles takes heat and its temperature will increase. As temperature increases, density of the fluid particle here, that decreases, right? Hence it moves up, right? The force which makes the fluid particle to move up is called the buoyancy force, right? And it should definitely overcome the viscous force when it is touching over the surface, right? So this decides whether the fluid flowing over the surface is laminar or turbulent in the natural convection mode, right? So now we can check in the vertical position. In the vertical position, right, the rod is being kept, right? We know the diameter and length of the rod as 38 mm and 500 mm respectively, right? And this is the hot surface, right? And air is moving over this. Right. The characteristic length is the length of the rod. I repeat, characteristic length is the length of the rod through which the entire fluid particle is been touching the surface. Right. So the fluid particle will be exerted from the underneath the buoyancy force, and it has to overcome the viscous force. Right. And buoyancy force, if it is greater than viscous force, then it is a turbulent, and if it is less, then it is a laminar flow. Right. So the same rod can be kept in horizontal position and we can conduct the experiment. Right. The rod kept in horizontal position, air movement is same always from downward to the upwards. Right. So the air movement is always same. The x direction is always upwards. Right. When the rod is kept in horizontal position, we have to take the diameter as the characteristic length. Right. So with this arrangement, we will conduct the experiment. Now we will go to the equipment and see what are the readings we can definitely take. This is the equipment to conduct the natural convection heat transfer. Right. And what we have to find from this is the heat transfer coefficient of this rod. Right. The air is been passing through this hot rod, right, and we have to find out the convection heat transfer coefficient by natural convection. Right. So the diameter of the rod is, this is the diameter of the rod, that is 38 mm. The length of the rod is 500 mm. Right. And this is the hot surface. There is a heater which will heat the rod. Right. And since it's natural convection, we can't have a blower or a fan to make the air to flow. Right. The air is flowing naturally. The air enters here, it moves upwards. Right. When it moves upwards, it touches the surface of the rod and takes heat. Right. So the air movement will always be from bottom to top. Right. So this block, what we can definitely remove this. This is being kept to make sure that air is entering here and moving upwards, and it's moving steady flow. Right. It should always be in steady flow. Right. So the accessories to take the readings are this. Right. There's a temperature indicator followed by the temperature changing switch, right? There's a voltage and the current readings, right? Then the console main switch, this is the main switch, and this is the heater switch, right? So first we'll conduct the experiment to take the readings of keeping the rod in vertical position. I repeat, the readings what we are noting is by keeping the rod in vertical position. Right? What is the step number 1? We can rotate this rod, keep it in vertical position. Right. Keep it exactly vertical position. Switch on the main. The main switch is here. Hopefully everyone can see this. The main switch. Right. Then the console switch. Right. Then we have to switch on the heater. Right. Once you switch on the heater, there is transfer of heat takes place slowly. Right? After reaching steady state, after 10 minutes, you can take the readings. 10 minutes has been done, and now you can take the readings. Right? So what are the readings? In the tabular column, you can check and take the values: voltage, current, right? And T1, T2, T3, T4 are the 4 temperatures on the surface of the rod. Right? Turn this knob T1, T2, T3, T4. This gives the 4 temperature values. Finally, the T5 gives the air temperature. Only this much is the reading. I repeat, the voltage, current, then 5 temperatures. 4 temperature exclusively for the surface of the rod and 1 temperature for the fluid air. So after taking the readings, we can't directly go on to the calculations. We have to switch off this. So by switching off, you make sure that the heater is off. The heater switch I am putting off now, and the main switch is being on. So then you can go back to the main and keep this power supply off. So this much we have to do to take the readings for natural convection, keeping the rod in the vertical position. Now the experiment what we are doing is the rod kept in horizontal position, and we have to conduct the experiment. Definitely we have to turn this rod to the horizontal position to take readings. Right? Now I am turning the rod, right, and kept in horizontal position. After keeping this in horizontal position, we have to switch on the main. Right? So I am switching on the main power supply now. Right? I have switched on the main power supply. Now the console switch being on. Right? Further, the heater is being kept on. Right? So after switching on the heater, we have to wait for steady state again. Right? That is, we have to wait for 10 minutes. Right? After 10 minutes, we have to take this temperature and voltage readings. Right? Now 10 minutes is done. Right? Now we will take up the voltage and the current reading. Right? You can see the manual tabular column that has been available. Right? The voltage and current, the first reading. Right? Next, 4 temperature sensors on the surface, that is T1, T2, T3 we can get by turning this knob, and T5 the temperature of the air. Right? So this much is the readings to be taken for horizontal position of the rod. Right? So before leaving and taking doing the calculations, again we have to switch off this. Switch off the heater, right? Switch off the mains, switch off the console switch, and also switch off the mains. Right? So this, if you do this, we can go back and take the do the calculations part. Now we will discuss about how to do the calculations to find the convection heat transfer coefficient in natural convection. Right? So you can see the manual. What I am showing now is the natural convection heat transfer. This is from the manual, page number 17. Right? So natural convection heat transfer. Right? So we'll go to the next page. Right? This is the tabular column that has been available to us. Right? So in the observation, you can definitely check the diameter of the rod is 38 mm and length of the rod is 500 mm. Right? Now we will do only the vertical position calculations. Right? That is the vertical position, voltage and current. We can write the values. We can have only one trial. The voltage and current values. Right? That is 80 volts for example, and 0.62. Right? So don't by heart this. You please take the readings and write. Right? And we have noted the 5 temperatures. That is, I am giving an example of the temperature values. I am writing the values. That is what we have taken the readings from the equipment. That is 93.4, 95.8, 90.7, 92.7. Then the air temperature, which is quite less, definitely 28.5, close to the room temperature. Right? Now this much is the readings that we have taken. Right? Using these values, we have to find the convection heat transfer coefficient, right, for practical approach and also the theoretical approach. Right? So we will go to the calculations part. Right? That's page number 19. Right? The keeping the rod in vertical position. Practical approach, right? First we have to find how much heat transfer happening, that is how much taken by the heater, that is voltage into current, right? So voltage and current, we have the first and the second column in the previous page, right? So write that value in watts. Next, right, mean temperature of the surface. Obviously the average of 4 temperature sensors on the surface, T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 divided by 4 is Ts. Right. Then the ambient air temperature is the air temperature, that is T infinity, that is definitely the thermocouple T5. Right. The surface area of the rod, how much surface area the fluid is touching the rod, that is definitely pi d into the length of the rod. Right. So pi dl, pi into 38 mm into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter and 510 to the power of minus 3 meter, right? So I repeat, this diameter and length should be substituted in meter, right? So we get the surface area, right? So now we can calculate the convection heat transfer coefficient by simple Newton's law of cooling, right? H is equal to Q by AS into Ts minus T infinity. Q from the first, right? Surface area from the fourth, Ts second, T infinity third, right? So we can get the H vertical position practical value, right? So we can get this value and make a note, right? So definitely everyone will agree with this. The unit I am writing now is watt per meter square Kelvin. Further, the theoretical approach, keeping the rod in vertical position, right? Theoretical approach, right? We have to find out the properties of fluid, which is air, at this temperature. What is the temperature being called as the film temperature, right? It's an external flow, so Tf is Ts plus T infinity divided by 2, right? We know Ts and T infinity, right? Take the average of these two and find out the Tf. At this temperature, we have to note the properties of air, right? So what are the properties of air? Where we get this? We will definitely get from the data handbook. In the data handbook, page number 34, right? So please go to the page number 34. What you can see is the page number 34 in the data handbook, right? The property values of gases at 1 atmospheric pressure, right? So the first column is dry air. In the second page, we have the other gases, nitrogen, oxygen, right? Carbon monoxide. Now we are working only with air, right? So take the properties of air. Suppose it is at 30 degrees centigrade. At this film temperature, right, we have to find out the properties of air. The fluid is air from the data handbook, right? So where we get from the data handbook is page number 34 in the data handbook. Now what you can see is the data handbook. Please open the page number 34 in the data handbook, right, and see the heading property values of gases at 1 atmospheric pressure, right? So in this, the first column is for dry air, right? In the next page, we have different gases, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon monoxide. What is required for us is only the air values, right? So suppose it is at 30 degrees centigrade. Suppose if we get Tf as 30 degrees centigrade, take the values of density, absolute viscosity, then kinematic viscosity, thermal diffusivity, Prandtl number, specific heat and thermal conductivity, right? And note those values, right? Density, right? Next is absolute viscosity, kinematic viscosity, and note all these values for dry air, right? Now the third calculation what we need to do is the Grashof number, right? This Grashof number is the parameter, which is a dimensionless parameter which decides whether the flow is laminar or turbulent in natural convection. It is synonym to the Reynolds number in forced convection, right? So Grashof number is given by this formula, G beta x cube delta T by kinematic viscosity square. Right. So this is very carefully we have to calculate. What is G is 9.81 meter per second square. What is beta is called the volumetric thermal expansion. It is 1 over Tf, but Tf should be substituted in Kelvin. Right. I repeat, I am writing again here, Tf we have to substitute in Kelvin. Right. Tf, what we got in the previous one is in degree C, right? We have to convert into Kelvin and substitute into this equation, right? Next, x is the characteristic length. Since it's a vertical position, characteristic length is the length of the rod, right? That is 500 mm, right? Convert into meter, right? Next, delta T is Ts minus T infinity, Right? We know both the values. Right? Kinematic viscosity of air is what we got from the data handbook. Right? So substituting all this, we will get a Grashof number which is dimensionless, which doesn't have any unit. Right? Now we'll go back to the next page, page number 20. So in the page number 20, right, we have to find the Nusselt's number for this condition. Right? So we have to use the suitable correlations available in the data handbook for Nusselt's number and for this situation. Right? So we'll go back to the we'll go to the data handbook and find out the suitable Nusselt's number we have to pick. Right? So going to the data handbook, right? So in the contents page you can check the free convection. In the contents page, I'm opening the contents page. You can check the convection, free convection. That's in the page number 135. Right? Now the free convection, what we can see, this is from the data handbook. Right? Page number 134 in the data, 135 in the data handbook. Please open the page number 135, and the properties are to be evaluated at TF. Right? That is a film temperature. This is the temperature what we have noted. Right? So vertical surface is what we are supposed to do. Right? In this correlations are suitable for GRPR less than 10 to the power of 9, that is laminar. Right? So find out the product of GRPR, Grashof number into Prandtl number. Right? If it is 10 to the power, if less than 10 to the power of 9, use this correlation. Right? Now from the previous experience, what we have, right? GRPR will be greater than 10 to the power of GRPR will be higher value, will be a higher value. So we can use this correlation, higher values of GRPR, right? And in the page number 136, right? So we will definitely use this. Nusselt's number is 0.59, GRPR to the power of 0.25. Please check whether the GRPR will be fitting into this range. Right? So use this correlation. Right? Nu is 0.59, GRPR to the power of 0.25. Right? Come back to the manual. Right? Substitute the values for that equation. Nu bar 0.59, GRPR to the power of 0.25. Substitute the values of GRPR and you will get a Nusselt's number value. Right? So using this Nusselt's number value, we can find out the theoretical heat transfer coefficient H. H theoretical is given by this Nu K by X. Right? X we are written here because X, the characteristic length for the vertical position, is the length of the rod. Right? So Nu from the previous value, K is the thermal conductivity of air, that is from the property table, and X is the length of the rod that we know. Right? So using this we can find out H theoretical. Right? So please remember the H practical and H theoretical value, keeping the rod in vertical position, and go to the results and fill these two values. What we are filling now is vertical position, H practical value HP, right, and H theoretical value H theoretical. Right? So this much is the calculations to be done for vertical position. We will start now discussion about the calculation part for natural convection heat transfer when the rod is kept in horizontal position. Right? So the same page number 17. Right? So I am going to the natural convection, and in the tabular column I am writing the values what we have taken for horizontal position. Right? First column the 70 volts, right, followed by the current of 0.55 amps. Right? This is for horizontal position. Everyone can definitely check it. Right? Then I am noting the temperatures on the surfaces, that is T1 74.5, next 77.1 is T2, 76 T3, 74.8 is T4. Right? And now the air temperature, which is closer to the ambient, that is 27.7. Right? So the four temperatures are these, and this is the air temperature. I am giving only this as an idea about the temperature values. Right? So whatever the readings you get, you have to enter those values on these columns. Right? The calculations part, you can go to the page number 20, that is been in the manual, that is B horizontal position. Right? Horizontal position, we have to calculate the H value by practical approach and also by theoretical approach. First we'll do by practical approach. The first one is similar, is quite obvious. The heat transfer is voltage into current. For horizontal horizontal position, whatever the voltage and current we got right here, right? Then surface temperature is the average of 4 temperatures on the surface. The temperature of the air is the ambient temperature, that is T infinity is equal to T5. Right? Now the surface area when it's kept in horizontal position is the same surface area, right? So pi dl, right? So diameter, length of the rod is same, right? So we can find out the H value, Q by AS is equal to Ts minus T infinity, right? The formula is same, but the value of H we get different when it's been kept in horizontal position because the temperatures will be different. Right? Now this much is the H practical value of the rod when it's kept in horizontal position. Right? So we can write the value, and definitely the unit is watt per meter square Kelvin. Right? The theoretical approach to find out the value of H. Right? So again, the film temperature at which we have to take the properties of air is Ts plus T infinity divided by 2. Right? So at this temperature, find out the properties of air from the data handbook. The data handbook, the same page number same page number 34. I'm sorry for it, page number 34, and you can see the properties of gases. There's a dry air. Suppose if we get for say 30 degrees centigrade, again note the density, viscosity, thermal conductivity, specific heat, Prandtl number for air. Right? I am quite obviously we need to write the values here: rho, mu, nu, Cp, values of air. Right? So now the third part, we have to find out the Grashof number when it's kept in horizontal position. Right? The Grashof number when it's kept in horizontal position is, the formula is same, G beta x cube delta T by kinematic viscosity square. Right? G 9.81, beta 1 over TF should be in Kelvin. Right? Then characteristic length for horizontal position is the diameter, not the length of the rod. Right? Then delta T is difference in temperature, Ts minus T infinity. Then kinematic viscosity of the air we can definitely get from the property tables. Right? So using this, find out the Grashof number. Right? After finding the Grashof number, we have to find out the Nusselt's number. Nusselt's number, we have to find the suitable correlation for horizontal position from the data handbook. Right? So go to the data handbook. Right? Go to the data handbook, page number 135. You can check free convection. Right? This one, first 1.1 is to the vertical surface, but what we are doing is now the horizontal cylinder. Search for horizontal cylinder. Right? It's not available in the page number 135. Turning page number 136, it's nowhere horizontal plate we got. It's not still horizontal cylinder. Right? Now in the page number 137, keep on searching it. Right? There's a horizontal surface. Right? Now we got inclined cylinder. Right? But what we require is horizontal cylinder. Right? Page number 138, right? Equation 3.1. We should be very happy now we got horizontal cylinder word. Right? So use this correlation for horizontal cylinder. That is Nu is C gr d pr to the power of m. Right? So find out the product of gr pr, what we got from the calculations. If the gr pr is in this any of the range, take the corresponding c and m value, capital C and small m value. Right? So find out the range and take these two values and calculate Nusselt's number. Nusselt's number we can get and write, which doesn't have any unit. It is a dimensionless number. Right? So coming back to the manual, to find out the theoretical value of H theoretical is Nu K by X. Right? Nu, Nusselt's number, whatever we got. K value is thermal conductivity of air from the property table. Then X is the characteristic length, that should be definitely the diameter of the rod. Right? So we can find out H theoretical, which is for the horizontal position, that is in watt per meter square Kelvin. Right? So now definitely we have two values of H practical and H theoretical by keeping the rod in when the rod is kept in horizontal position. Take these two values and write in the result. Right? What I am writing now is H practical value of the horizontal position and H theoretical value of the horizontal position. The two values will not be same, right, because of the huge heat loss happening when the convection heat transfer is happening, and the flow will not be steady, and the density variation will not be according to the property values what is available in the data handbook. Because of these reasons, the two values will not be same.